My name is Fiorella Fernandez Barreda, and I am currently a first year at Elon University. I double majored in undergrad, and my major was human development with a minor in kinesiology. So I had to go back to school and do some prereqs. And if I'm honest, chemistry was just not my strongest suit. Physics was very abstract for me. It was hard for me to envision a lot of material. So there was a lot of very hard days, a lot of tears to shed, a lot of, am I really going to make it if I can't even make it out of this class? What I would say to individuals applying to PT school that might be walking a similar path that I walked is embrace those hard periods of your time in prereqs. Sometimes in those moments, it doesn't really make sense why you're probably taking these classes, but I promise that they do make sense once you're in the DPT program, because it really, like, it's such a fundamental, and it allows you to kind of understand certain topics here more fluidly. I'm grateful, as hard as those moments were for me and a lot of questioning and self-doubt. I'm grateful for those hard moments because I think that they helped me get to where I am today. And the application process, it's long, it's costly, and it's very challenging. I think a lot of the questions that universities ask demand for you to dig deeper, right? They don't, I mean, some of the questions are just very, why PT? And that's such a simple question, yet so hard to answer. I feel at that moment, you really start looking at your computer like, oh my gosh, why? Trying to visualize what your passion is and put them into words and articulate it in a way where the individual on the other side of that screen can hear you without knowing you. And I think that that is such a difficult, challenging moment, but it's so profound. I found it so profound to be able to finally articulate these words and for people to believe me, for people to believe my story and why I loved PT. It's challenging, of course, it's hard, but it's great. It really is. I think for me, growing up, I was always around sports. But unfortunately, so I was an immigrant and I started classes here in the United States I in second grade. I was 7. I started in second grade. And I remember a project that we had in second grade saying, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I put my top choice was to be a doctor, and then my second choice was to be a singer. I realized my vocal cords were not going to take me there, so that was a thing, a hobby per se. But um, a doctor, I think, as a young child, you know what a doctor is. You see your pediatrician, and people talk about doctors all the time, or maybe even nurses. You hear about it often. It's a career that you are aware of from a very, very young age. But physical therapy was not one of those careers that was mentioned to me. And I kind of stumbled upon the field ever so accidentally, if I'm completely honest. But it felt so perfect for me because initially I thought nursing was my route. I thought that that was really the only way I could really get into healthcare and be able to provide for patients the way that I wanted to. Um, but upon stumbling with the field of physical therapy, I realized, no, this is it. Like, I cannot tell you, it sounds so cliche, but it's so real. It was like this moment of like, I really found I really found the perfect balance between sports medicine and sports medicine. It's like all here. And obviously I only knew an ortho outpatient clinic. And it was the best. You didn't have to wear like a suit and tie. I mean, you could, but you didn't have to. And the patients that I would see were just so cool. I thought, like, I was just like, this is the best thing ever. And the more I really dug deep and kind of exposed myself to the field, I was very, very well convinced that this was it for me. Currently, our DPT program, I would say, is showing a well progression of diversity. Um, a lot of so there's currently 3 years, our cohort, the cohort that will graduate before us, and the cohort that will graduate before them. So there's three classes here, three cohorts here at a time. And I would say that, diversity is definitely there, which is beautiful. I don't know what it would be like to be able to walk halls where I couldn't find someone that I identified with. So that's really great. As far as being part of extracurricular committees or groups, I currently sit in the diversity committee for the School of Health Science. I also sit in our pro bono Hope Clinic, in particular with the Dream Center. So it's basically just a really short Snapchat of it. We were able to rent out, and when I say we, I mean the university. This happened before me, but the university was able to rent out a small room, a treatment room, at this building called City Gate in Burlington, North Carolina. And what do is this building is a community center for a lot of individuals who are underrepresented, and allow them to have resources. So they offer classes, fitness classes, also sports for adolescents and young children. And we now hold a room where once a week we go in and we treat individuals who are appropriate for physical therapy free of charge. Once a month, we have a doctor come with us to be able to get new referrals and continue to have and grow our patient care in that way. And we offer translation services. So if our patients do not speak English or don't feel comfortable speaking English, we are able to accommodate to their needs. So I sit as what they call my position a Dream Center liaison. So I'm a communicating source between the Dream Center and the Hope Clinic that is currently situated within our school grounds. So physical therapy, I think, is still in its realm of developing itself, and its entity, and what it offers in the healthcare industry. I think nursing has done a great job. All our other professions in the healthcare industry have done a great job, and physical therapy is also getting known. But is it to the point that I think other careers are? Not just yet, but we're on our way to showcase so many individuals within our states what our profession is, what we can do, and especially our doctorate degree, right? It's not just exercises, it's not just TheraBands and whatever we might see here and there. It's so much more than that. It's the general movement of the human body and the importance behind everything that we do. If you're looking to pursue physical therapy, know that, I mean, maybe it's my own biased opinion, but I found it to be the best decision I made to pursue within the healthcare industry. I have a lot of hopes. I hope that a lot of my hopes do come true, but I do predict, from based on what I've been taught till this point in my academic year here at Elon, I predict a lot of progress, a lot of good changes. One of our professors in particular, I think, said this beautifully to us one day in lecture. A lot of the healthcare, it's all about being able to gain the knowledge that you are, stay on top of articles, research, whatever important thing that gets published that has importance and that can change the treatment of your patient, updating your priors, and continue staying updated yourself. I think that if we continue to push with that same vision and that same motive, my prediction within the field of physical therapy is we're only going up from here. I hope that there's a lot more residencies offered for individuals, students who want to pursue even a more specialized degree within physical therapy. I predict more individuals taking interest in the field of physical therapy. And on the same level, I predict that we get the respect from those who aren't within our field in all that we know. And honestly, those are my hopes too. I hope that we are always able to continue to grow, push boundaries, do amazing research, be able to provide our patients with the best clinical data and treatment-based classifications and all the great stuff, because we owe it to them. We owe it as healthcare providers to be the best, or ask for advice, or, ask for guidance. I think it's just giving me that extra boost. In my interview, I had disclosed that I chose to pursue Elon, though it was across the country from where I call home. I'm in California, and I chose to just pursue this dream of mine, which was graduate school for physical therapy, and move across country to North Carolina, where I don't know anybody, anything. The culture can be quite different. I won't lie, there's times where it's definitely hard. It was challenging for me at the beginning, getting adjusted and being able to be a Rising Tide recipient, but also be immersed in the community. And I know it's only just begun. For PT in general, I hope to continue to see more individuals like me, men or women, just more individuals who identify as Latino, Hispanic, as a minority. Just allow people to believe that they also can do this, that it's not just a predominantly one racial group career, it's for all of us. I firmly believe that so long as we continue to push these boundaries and push and allow other individuals to know about our field and pursue it and feel supported, that we can accomplish that.